Tuesday, February 26th, Inland Wetlands Water Commission. We'll start off with the introduction of commission members. To my left,
Bill Perfetto,
Walt Vesputa,
Drew Gunning,
Jim Ewan,
Diana Ross.
Scott Allen over here. Oh, Scott Allen, the Wetlands Enforcement Officer, and me, Rick Mangione. We're going to start off with the consideration of January 22nd minutes. I don't know. This was from the previous meeting that was canceled. I don't know if everybody has them in front of them or not.
I do have an extra copy if somebody needs it. I got one more. Somebody need it?
Need one?
I don't have one, I wasn't here, so.
There was the meeting that we didn't have a quorum.
No, that's for,
No, that's what I'm saying. That's when it came in that packet.
right.
Right. Does anybody see any corrections? Anyone entertain a motion? Two. Perfetto weren't here. Right.
Who was here?
You were here. Yeah.
It's all over that. So I was there. Seconding and
So that's good. Would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I was there. Motion to accept as.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Abstentions? 1.
So we have 401.
Right. We're going to move on to correspondence. We have a few things today. First one is the habitat. Did everybody get one?
it's 5, Scott.
I forgot, Rick, sorry.
Yeah. 501.
That's why I said it, you know, just to make sure.
6. Okay, the habitat, when and why and how to make site walks count. Municipal Indian Wetland Agency site walks for proposed permits. These will be up at Scott's office if anyone needs to look at them. Everybody got a copy? Here's Scott. Let's see, Connecticut Wildlife Magazine. That's also in the office if anyone needs to look at that. I can pass this around. Take a look at that. We got 2008 Municipal Inland Wetland Commission's training program. I think there's still money in the budget if anybody wants to go.
We have plenty of money in the budget for training if anyone wants to go.
Okay. Applications right here. Looks like it's $55 per session. I'll pass that around in case anybody's interested. What else do we have in here?
Actually, that was today.
This is today, so that's not going to help.
That's not going to help.
Well, it was Tuesday, February 26th, yep. It was a 2008 annual meeting for wetland management topics for everyone. 8:15. Sorry. Next year.
That's the Connecticut Association of Wetland Scientists annual meeting.
This one's empty. We have a letter from Michael Robichaud to Jim Zioli. It says, Dear Jim, unfortunately at this time I will need to resign my position on the Inland Wetland Commission. It has been a privilege to serve on the commission for the past few years, and I've learned a great deal from the members on the commission and the concern with protecting these valuable assets in town of Orange. I have family obligations that have taken priority. I will need to spend time with my children and their needs. Thank you again for providing me with the opportunity to serve on the Inland Wetland Commission. Michael Robichaud. Okay. I think that's, what else we got? I think that's all we have for correspondence. All right.
I believe the rest of what we have for correspondence is going to come up at
That'll be
later
for
exciting portions of the program.
Yes. Okay, new applications. For receipt, we don't have any, so that's good. For discussion, 342 Peck Lane, new construction. Is anybody here?
Yes.
Speak up here since then.
Right there.
Okay.
Put your plan up on the board.
Should have made my own board, huh?
You have clips on top so you can clip it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
State your name and
Sure.
what you plan on doing, or?
Rich Votto, the property owner at 342 Peck Lane, proposed to build a single-family, small colonial at the former site of the house that was there, the infamous Red Rays Ranch there.
Okay. Scott, do you have a plan, would you?
Hope I can answer most of your questions, being the engineer is not present.
Anybody else need plans for this?
Scott, do you have a sign-off sheet, or no? Is your septic system underneath your driveway? Or no? Or that's the old driveway?
That's the old driveway. It's still there at the present time, but it's to be removed. There's one in front of the house. You see it here? You're taking a look at the board here. There's two.
Right, so you want a proposed driveway up on top, right?
Proposed driveway, right. There's no septic underneath there.
Right,
The septic is in front of the house, the main septic.
the tank, right?
Right. And, oh, I'm sorry, the fields were under the
Right,
driveway.
right, yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yes,
So they want you to remove the driveway, so
Correct.
those fields are exposed.
correct.
Right.
There's 3 separate sheets.
We're using the existing septic there.
Did you see the sign-off sheets for the department heads, or no?
I did not know.
The town engineer states that if the driveway is not graded properly, that water drains adjacent to the property, current drain shall be installed.
We proposed a dry well there from the leader, the roof drains.
Well, I guess looks like the driveway's grading downwards,
Right.
and then I would assume it's pitching from your house towards your neighbor.
We got to see when we start the site work, what Scott and I actually were talking about was for submitted possibly putting a retaining wall in the back of the driveway there,
Okay.
and somehow possibly putting a drain, maybe that could connect to the dry well, which is right in the back of the house, not far from the back of the driveway there. The lay of the land is such that, it pitches down from the road back towards the,
Yeah, you have a 4-foot drop from the, I guess from Peck Lane to the back of your driveway.
I would like to move the house, facing the house to the, move it somewhat to the left if I can, because the driveway is tight in that property corner there.
From the north boundary line?
Would that be the north? I'm saying facing the house, move the house a couple feet this way. Which, staying away from this septic here. There's a second tank here, if you recall.
Well, the way your driveway is drawn out now, you probably have an inch, probably 30 feet. No, you got it less. It's 28 feet to
Yeah.
the property line.
Right.
So you're probably talking 20-foot driveway. That is tight.
I could move it to the front also, I imagine, a little bit. If that's acceptable. I don't
You
know.
have to be 25 feet from the front septic tank, though, if that goes in.
The house needs to be 25 feet from the corner of the tank?
I believe, if you've got, are you going to have footing drains?
Oh, he has a basement at 83, I would think he's going to.
If he's got footing drains, he's got to be 25 feet.
Okay.
It looks like it's less than 20 feet, right?
Yeah, right now, I don't think you have,
I'm in a tight
15, right?
spot there.
What's the existing vegetation in the back?
Grass.
Yeah. It's not first. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
No shrubs or anything back in here?
No.
You're about 15 feet from that front tank right now.
So you're saying it may need to go back?
this is from,
That tank location on the drawing, I don't know if it's exactly accurate. I mean, it is, looking at it, from just looking at the print, is accurate, but as far as dimensionally, we didn't locate it the first time when we were out there doing the test pits.
I'll have a comment here from Fred Schumacher, Town Sanitarian.
Yeah.
Says existing house has already been demolished. Exact information is lacking for existing septic system. Some effort should be made to prevent street stormwater from draining down driveway. So that's the second concern.
Okay.
There's where it says existing septic area next to your house, and then up here by the septic tank, C note 13, it looks like a septic field there, which says existing septic system and well locations as shown are compiled from available information. Where is the septic system?
The field is underneath the driveway there, the 3 lines where the C note 13, the larger arrow is pointing to. You see there?
Yeah.
He said existing septic area because there's a septic, second one there. Here, you see?
Yeah. So you have 2 septic systems there?
That's correct. Well, this is a tank, I don't know what they were using it for, but the one in the front seems to be sufficient for a 3-bedroom home. We didn't get a measurement on the tank, we didn't get a contractor out there to test it, but it looks to be a holding tank, you know, sufficient of a 1,000-gallon tank.
Okay, so what's the proposed settling basin for? Is that something to do with the septic system?
That should be the,
No, that,
should probably be the dewatering structure, I
Right.
believe.
right, which is shown down here. That's when we,
Okay.
when we dig the hole, if there is water to keep it out of the wetlands.
So you have a separate septic tank with just a dry well?
Mm-hmm.
And then the septic system, so why would you not just abandon that and then you could move your house over?
I don't know if Fred wanted me to do that.
I think what they, from what I remember when I was out there and with the house being still up, it was a raised ranch with a garage under, and there was a basement lavatory. So rather than pump up to the existing system, which was considerably higher, if you look at what the basement floor elevation is and you look at the grades, they were up around 85 where the code complying area is, which those lines head towards, and the basement floor was at 83.5. So you have, 3.5 feet there, 2.5 feet. So I assume
Just to have a gravity just to go down
they
the
just
mountain.
gravied it right out the back for probably the one lavatory is what I'm surmising. And I don't remember where the washing machine hookups were.
A lot of times the washing machine just goes
I
into
think
the
they
dry
were-
well
they're
too.
doing
Right.
that
That's how they used to do
Yeah.
it.
Same area.
Right. But that, you know, since you're putting a new tank in the front, or that's the
No.
existing?
Existing.
Right. I mean, if you're piping everything new, I would just go to that tank and remove that septic tank with the dry well. You would have to ask Fred if you could move it.
Yeah, I
It's
would,
just gonna be tight for your driveway to go in and out.
yeah.
I mean, depends on the car you have too.
I would prefer to abandon that second one there, but I'm not sure if, Fred was in agreement on that. Do you remember, Scott, when he had marked up, I don't know if I have that here.
I wasn't privy to that. It's 25 feet, that's a pretty good hammerhead there.
What is?
The hammerhead's 25 feet.
Is it? Okay, but it says 28. This is not the right distance, 2839 to the property line, is it?
Yeah, if you look at it from
Yeah.
here to here, you're just about 30 feet.
And then this looks like at least a 1/4 inch, right? That would be 5 feet. Is it drawn to scale?
It's close.
Yeah.
I mean, these are not
Right.
the most accurate,
Alright.
but it's close.
So to catch this water coming down this driveway,
Mm-hmm.
right, I mean, you said you might do some retaining wall blocks, is that
Right.
putting them right here, near the property owner?
No, it would be being back, I mean, it's coming straight down, we could,
Well-
tilt it towards the garage.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because right now, the driveway's going from your garage to your neighbor's house,
Right.
plus the water coming down from the driveway.
I can't just put some sort of drain, a perforated drainage in there with, some stone on the border of a paved driveway?
You can, the problem there is maintenance. It's gonna fill with leaves.
Once it gets
Yeah.
clogged or whatever you want to,
I
full of
understand.
sand and all that.
I need to find out from Fred, I hate to have hopefully not another meeting, and knowing this, is if this second septic needs to stay. And if it doesn't, then it looks like the house could be slid, which would be preferable. It can be anyway, I think.
Well,
even if it
sliding
needs
the
to stay.
house is not an issue.
Yeah,
But, I mean, the water coming down, if anything, if you can make the same elevation on this side of the driveway, so it looks like a V, so the water's gonna come this way.
mm-hmm,
And then you could grab it with another,
in the center of it, you mean?
right. Cause you only got your finished floor is 88.5. It's only a 6-inch difference. Cause these grades show 88 to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Flat.
right, so on 20 feet, having a
A small pitch.
small pitch, at
Right.
least it's gonna grab the water and bring it to this side.
Mm-hmm. But then out the back, into possibly a drain that goes into the drywall.
Or you could, I mean, I would just pipe it to the drywall. What do you think, Scott?
The sheet flow there, I think.
It'd be too
that's
great?
Gonna be, you take like what's happened all afternoon, I don't think it would handle it with the combined roof water.
Right. Just maybe put another dry well for the driveway? Because let's see, wetlands is 80, you got 8-foot drop. What kind of soils here?
It's all fill.
It's all fill?
That's what undid the house to begin with. Boulders, rocky, fill.
Yeah. Just
Garbage. yeah.
Garbage.
It's really garbage. You've got enough distance from the end of the driveway and the way the grades are here that if you come along the northerly border, the water pitched that way with a slight swale and let it come around the back, it'll eventually work its way all the way down to the watercourse, but there's plenty of space in between. I think that it would get filtered out other than snow piling.
So I'm gonna do that, just swale it to the back corner here?
I'll just swale it around the house so it goes all across all the lawn. You look at the grades at wetland flag 9 and 10, and work your way back up to the house. You get kind of almost a natural swale that rolls down that way.
Right. So you're gonna cut it from here? If he pitches the driveway this way a little bit? Oh.
Pitch it towards the northerly property lines.
Right, and grab it from here?
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Right.
It's a tight spot.
I don't. You don't want to have that big a dry well next, right, near the foundation anyway. That's just not good practice.
This one?
No, if you were to add more to start.
Oh, I would've put a basin like that with a pipe.
Now you gotta direct it straight in with no
Right.
cleaning.
Well, Daddy's gotta somehow put when he grades the yard, to bring the water that way. Well, I just think it's gonna be a lot of runoff.
There is.
Right. So I don't think that's gonna, you could have, especially if that's all lawn.
With a basin of pipe, you're gonna concentrate it if it just sheet flows. Which is what it does right now. From Peck Lane.
Right now, there's no driveway here, right? It's this side.
Correct, but I mean, it's, when you go by the site, you see that it's just, Peck Lane drains right into it. And it goes all across the whole site and everything heads to.
Is there curbing on Peck
southwest.
Lane? Asphalt curb? No? So the water from Peck Lane goes onto your property?
Yes. I mean, I don't frequent the property much. That the house is down now.
I mean, a lip on a driveway will take care of a lot of that, but you still got a large space there that you're gonna pick up. 100 feet.
You know, it looks to me like the house is gonna have to be moved to accommodate that septic tank, right?
The existing?
The existing, because it's only 15 feet away?
Well,
Is that
again,
true?
If they don't put in footing drains, it can,
Could stay there.
I believe it's only 10 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's only
Not
feet-
going to need footing drains there?
Well-
I'm just wondering if you shouldn't look at seeing if he's got to move the house, if he's going to put the footing drains in, if he's going to move it over, see if the septic tank can go, the old, the old one, and then that may change the
But you still not gonna-
conditions of the drainage from the driveway, because it'll be farther from the property
Oh,
line.
yeah, if he moves the house closer this way, I mean, he's not gonna have footing drains, because he's still gonna have 15 feet away from the tank. But at least you're gonna have more room for the driveway to work with, for the
Right.
water.
Right now, it looks like you're limited with where you can put the house because of these septic tanks.
Yes, it does.
And I'm not sure
Right,
that,
but
you
it
wouldn't be able to.
I wish
more
I knew
options.
that answer from Fred if he wanted me to tie into the second one there. As far,
I don't think he's gonna let you tie into the second one.
no?
That's my,
Yeah.
to a dry well, I don't know. What do you think, Scott?
I'm not gonna answer that, I don't know.
House has to stay where it is. I don't think you can move the house anywhere.
Oh, there's no house there now.
No, I know
Right.
that. I know that.
Why couldn't you move it if this tank was gone?
I think you're encroaching too far to the left of
He's gonna want your mic on.
There's a lot of wetlands in the back there.
Well, the distance is still greater than where it is now. If you move it towards the septic tank here, slide it this way.
the tank has to stay though, right?
No,
We're not-
he has
we're
a
not
tank
sure.
here.
I thought they both had to stay.
No, I don't think so.
It would be closer to the field, though, right?
The fields are
How
all,
far can it be away from well, you don't know where the field is,
No,
so.
No, we do. The field is underneath the existing driveway.
right here. These right here. You can see the lines.
Right,
Yeah.
right, so
It'll
how
be-
far can the house be away from those? Maybe he can't move it over to the left because of those fields. I don't know how far away it has to be from the,
I think it's still well enough below it, below the fields. I don't know if there's an ordinance that, if Scott's familiar with that. No,
Not on the, I thought any part of the septic system is.
25 feet?
Again, footing
If
drains
there's a footing
25
drain,
feet.
yeah.
If you don't have footing drains, I think like a front porch can be 5 feet or 10 feet away. We
Okay.
don't know about the fields, it's just,
The basement elevation's the same as it was before, or did you raise it?
Honestly, I don't know that answer.
Well, I just see, it looks like.
We didn't shoot the old house, you know?
Okay.
somebody did. It looked like it got shot up pretty badly.
Oh, yeah, that, shot with all kinds of rocks and, yeah, it's a different kind of shooting.
Well, you got it looks like you have 3.5 feet above water level. I just wonder if that site flooded.
As far as your commission is concerned, can those elevations change? Or we need to come before you
You
again?
mean to go up?
To go up, right, with,
With the grade, you mean?
That,
yeah, with Phil.
are you talking about fill or the house? Those two different things.
Well,
I mean, you are filling in. These grades are fill right
right,
here.
yeah.
Those are filled.
Well, no, we gotta dig, the footing, I mean, I'm gonna make like a Rolls Royce because of what happened there.
Right.
You know, I wanna go as deep as we can and, put a spread footing in there. Maybe put even, so, you know, even though the foundation plan may not have called for steel, I'm gonna do it anyway.
if you significantly alter the filling in the back of your house
Mhm.
and the grading, then it may have to come back.
Okay?
Because what we're looking at is
Is what we're
pretty
talking about.
minimal grading right now.
Mhm.
But, I mean, you still could raise the house and leave the lawn the way you have it.
Right,
I mean, you still could go up another foot. I mean,
Okay.
you see more foundation.
right.
You might have another step to get into your house. I mean, I don't know how the front is. 88. Any other concerns besides the driveway? What do you think, Scott? Put a current drain and try to flow it out this way?
I think we need to see whether the house gets shifted or not.
Well, if it gets shifted, then you'd have a lot of room
Right,
to do
more to play,
something.
right.
Right. You wanna,
Leave it as a condition, once we talk to Fred.
well, one thing we could do is figure out what we'll do with this plan, and if you shift it, and then you could,
It just becomes better.
it comes better, but then
Easier.
Scott maybe could just look at it that way, so you don't have to come back.
Right.
My only comment here is I don't want to get into us, meaning the commission, altering somebody else's signed and sealed plan here.
No, we're not
And
gonna,
design, you know,
no,
design.
no, we're not gonna, right. So you think whoever drew it should design something for the sheet flow, or?
Which was
Yeah.
part of what we had talked about initially, and you ended up putting the fill at elevation 88 and 86 off the back of the house, which just sent the water down there even further. What we were trying to do was prevent that water from going down there when you and I had spoke about that. So
I mean-
I think somebody should,
I'm trying, I'm somewhat trying to, being that this process has been,
Well, the thing is, if we say put a curtain drain in, and it gets clogged and doesn't work and goes to the neighbor's property, then we're gonna be in trouble for it. If your engineer draws this out, at least you can go back to him and say it's not working.
I agree with that. I just don't, I don't want to, hopefully have him do all kinds of calculations on water flow and everything, with thousands of dollars, already upon this thing.
Well, it's not, you just gotta grab the water that's coming down this driveway. I mean, he could just say, we'll put a curtain drain this way and this way,
Okay.
and naturally flow it to the corner. Or he could say, whatever, put some type of sump there, grab the water and go through gravel, or infiltrators,
do a grass swale too,
a grass swale,
right alongside the driveway.
right. So whatever comes off of there, you could grab it, maybe make a little berm
What was
here.
your suggestion, Scott?
A grass swale,
Okay.
so make a little berm on this side so the water,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
so it has a place to channel.
Yeah.
If you could talk to Fred Schumacher and see if you can if you could get rid of this tank and move it over, then you could have plenty of room to do that.
Right. I just hope I don't have to come before the commission again. If I could have the engineer do that and show it to Scott, clarify the septic with Fred,
They would have to come with a new plan. It's gonna be a new,
it's gonna be a new plan.
because if they say they can't move it over and you're gonna come here with a drawn,
Everybody wants to review it.
whatever you wanna, I mean, you could talk to Scott with the engineer to see if it's okay with them, that's fine, but you're gonna need something to show us. What's the commission think?
Yeah, I agree too. We need a revised plan.
Well, you say, 2 weeks we have a meeting, so,
Oh, really? It's that soon?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
That's what we'll try and do.
I mean,
then.
this should
Just-
be on his computer, so it's not a
Right.
big deal, but find out about the septic.
I'm gonna find out from Fred right away, and then if that's the
house
case,
is already down,
right.
and this septic could do the 3-bedroom house. If you can move that, move this way,
And then show a berm in there, that may be sufficient.
right, and then you're gonna get more room for your driveway. It'd be a better way designed.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. That's yours. This stuff.
Scott, I have a question about this application. Why is there a dam construction permitting fact sheet attached?
All of our applications have that attached.
They all have that?
Every one of our applications has that as part of the package, and we don't pull them out. It's for anybody that is contemplating a detent pond. That's a
So this
trigger.
would have been for that little settling?
No.
Oh, it's just automatically if they're contemplating it?
Right.
Okay.
It's something we, when that whole issue of detention pond berms came about a few years back in dam safety, et cetera, early 2001, we decided to put the part about the dam safety program into our application packet that everyone receives, so that it's a red flag to them that this is something that they may have to address with the DEP before they even come to us. And it actually has gotten the attention that we had hoped it would over the years, so we've just left it in there. If someone feels that we shouldn't have it there, then...
No, I was just curious, I didn't know.
Yeah. Typically what happens is when people put those together, that part of the application gets ripped out. We don't take it out, but they do.
Okay, for discussion, next, Annie Acres. Anybody? No, I have, we could end up with new plans anyway.
Maybe.
If not, I got. How you doing?
Hello. For the record, my name is Fred D'Amico. I'm the engineer for the project, office at 9 Park Road, Oxford. This application was before you, actually, approximately 10 years ago, was approved in wetlands, but it never got approval in zoning. So the approval lapsed. I think it was only a 5-year approval. So it lapsed, so we had to come back to get reapproval. The application is basically the same. I don't know if anybody on the board is here from before, but I'll try to go over everything again so you could, as if it's the first time you saw it. It's basically a little more than 9 acres parcel. It's actually has frontage on Cricket Lane and also on Dogburn Lane. What we're proposing is a road coming in from Cricket Lane, and it's just a 2-lot subdivision. We're splitting it into 2 proposed lots. One is an 1.5-acre lot, and the other one is about a 7-acre lot. We have detention, underground galleys detention to mitigate any increase in runoff for the 100-year storm. The detention galleys are in this area here. You can see the wetlands are in blue, and the 50-foot buffer, or the 50-foot regulated area, is highlighted in yellow. What we did is, matter of fact, the 2 proposed dwellings are in orange, as well as the septic leaching fields. What I did is, I kept all the activity outside the 50-foot buffer, so there's no activity in the regulated area. And again, we caught all the increase in runoff with the catch basins down to here, and what we did is we calculated all the total area of the impervious area, the increased impervious area, and took the difference and basically mitigated it with the detention. I think I covered everything. The road is only it's fairly flat road. It goes from 1% to 6%, so it's fairly flat. And basically, right now, I think most of it is basically a field with a Christmas tree farm mixed in. The owner is Mr. Denny, and he actually lives in this. He purchased this lot here, so he lives out on Dogburn Lane. And if there's any questions, I'm glad to answer them.
Over your concrete galleys here, would you know the elevation? About what do you think? It's 176 the grade?
The bottom elevation's 171.3.
No, I know.
Oh.
I want the existing contour line. I see it's 180 and it's going down to 170 in the wetlands. there's another contour lane between the septic and the concrete.
It's 175, about approximately 175.
175?
It's between the 174 and 176.
Because I think it was DT2 test pit. The water level, I thought it was about 84 inches below. I'm doing it by memory. It just looks like those galleys are going to be in water.
We looked at that, and all the test holes throughout the whole site showed that the water table was down approximately 6 feet, and it actually followed the ground as you went down. So by we kept them up as high as we can, so they're only 4 feet down, and the water table should be at that point it should be lower than 4 feet. Should be approximately 5 to 6 feet down.
I wanted to clarify something. We have a 100-foot upland review, not a 50.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll change that.
The flood zone, you have a flood zone A, E, and then the gallery's right next to it with the flood zone X. What does the X mean?
The FEMA map has two different designations. One is a AE zone, which has the actual elevations on it, and then the X zone is the 500-foot. I believe it's the 500-foot flood. The AE zone, I believe, is the 100-foot flood, and the X, I believe, is the 500-foot.
100-year and 500-year.
100-year and 500-year.
You said the existing vegetation is field, but I'm seeing a tree line here, which looks like that's a proposed.
There is most of it's field. There is a tree line towards the back of the property, and towards the north and west side of the property, there are some trees.
How far does the tree line come out?
Basically, it follows. It comes like this and goes along like this, and I believe it comes along the back here.
That's the existing, what you're showing here?
Yes.
Another thing I was curious about, you said that it's an acre and a half? What does zoning require?
I believe it's 1 acre.
Acre and a half.
Acre and a half. This is less than an acre and a half, I believe, this lot here, lot 1.
Square footage, 60,000.
60,000. I thought they required 60,000. It's our 60.
No, I was looking at something here where it said it was like 52.
That's contiguous dry area. The actual total lot area is 60,000, and if you subtract the wetland area, 7,000, you end up with 52,000 dry.
So Orange doesn't have, Orange will include the wetland in the lot area, is that correct?
Yeah. It could have been 54,000, I'm not sure. Continues.
No more than 10%, I think.
Right. So it is 54,000.
But it counts as lot area. The wetlands count as lot area.
No, it has to do with square.
Squared. I don't know if he has the square.
No, I mean, in some towns, the wetlands don't count as lot area. They're subtracted out of the lot area.
I think it has to be
So-
10%, which comes out to 54,000, if I'm not mistaken. I did see 52 somewhere.
That is I do have 52,400. So they would have to, if it is only 10%, I'd have to adjust that.
Oh, that'll be for zoning. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is for zoning, but also if you increase the lot area, it might offer some different opportunities for moving things away from the wetland.
Is the Christmas tree cul-de-sac going to be extended into lot 1 and 2?
Yes.
So right now, the cul-de-sac is outboard of that boundary?
No, right now, the road is not there. There is no road. It's just, he just owns the 50-foot strip going out to Cricket Lane. There is no road.
There's no, Scott, there's not a sign-off sheet on this, is there?
Look at the driveway grades here, right on. You got the street at 182 and the driveway at 180. Is that what I'm seeing?
You need to know that the driveway grade is basically, they're close to like only, the lot number 2 is approximately 1%, and the other one's approximately 3%, lot number 1. So they're fairly flat.
So which way is the water going to drain?
Towards the house.
The water will drain towards, it'll sheet flow down towards, back towards the wetlands.
On lot 1.
On lot 1 and lot 2, it'll actually sheet flow again towards the east.
It's the same situation we just had with the other application.
Yeah.
Where's the test pit data?
Test pit data is on the second page, I believe,
It's like on
or
the
third
last.
page, there's a detail sheet. It's page 4.1.
The water 50 inches at DTD.
What'd you say, Scott?
You look at test pit D on lot 2. What it is, you got water at 50 inches.
Why not? That's what I was questioning about the concrete galleys, because there's not an actual test pit there, but the elevation at 170 is wetland, and the galleys are 4 feet.
That's actually a pond.
Oh, it is a pond?
Yes.
So 170 is water.
170 is probably top of berm. Or top of grate.
Well, just read from Fred Schumacher. Okay, for septic system, again, the age of old question. Will the 4-foot galley retention system be in groundwater? TPB, groundwater at 55 inches.
Up by the tank.
Is near the tank?
DTB is by the tank.
Yeah, I see it. So at 55 inches, and that's elevation, say 178. Bring it down 4 feet. At 171, there'll be water, which that would be the height of the galleys.
171.3.
Right. But usually you put a foot of gravel underneath the galleys, and it's gonna bring the water there.
They don't want foot of gravel underneath the galleys.
No?
No. The state health code doesn't allow it, matter of fact.
Yeah.
But if you still consider that a problem, we could change them to 2-foot galleys and just double them up. You know, put twice as many in, or dig additional test holes in that area to show that the water table is 4 feet down.
The test pits on Lot 1 are labeled DT2B, DT2A, but on here it's just a DTA and a DTB on your test pit data?
There's the ones on the right on lot number 2 are actually labeled DTA, DTB, DTD, DTC, and on lot 1 they're DT2A, DT2B.
I can't find those on Lot 1 on your test data.
All your perks are that way. PA, PB, PC. Then you got perk 1, perk, on lot 1 you got perk 1, perk 2. Then you switch to perk 3 and perk C and perk D.
Well, just to clarify something, all these test pits were done in '89?
Yes.
It's,
Long time ago.
yeah.
Well, lot 2 was done in '01.
Well, people claim water's rising in the town of Orange.
It could be altered by surrounding development.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I could double check and see which ones are. I know we went back and forth with Fred Schumacher because someone else did the previous holes. There were some holes that were done in 2001, and they were done by a previous engineer. And I think he labeled them just with ABC, but there were some that were done differently, and that's why there's some that are dated 2001. And then I retested with Mr. Schumacher in '89.
Okay, but you see here it says DT2B. I can't find
Yes.
DT2B.
I'll make sure that that's labeled correctly.
And I read this wrong. At DTB, I was looking at lot 2, but I was reading lot 1. You go to the right if I go to the right deep test pit B, which is for lot 2, now that I see what I did wrong here,
I looked at DTD.
no ledge and groundwater was 82 inches at C, and it's the same for D.
Right.
So there should be no issue with the galleys.
No, because 82 at elevation 178.
I believe the holes were just the additional number where it says 2B, 2A is not needed because it's separated into lots 1 and 2 in the back, but I'll double check that to verify to make sure there's no confusion.
You said this application was approved in '89, was it?
Approximately 10 years ago, I'm not sure exact. If I tested it in '89, it was approved basically within that year.
The tests for Lot 2 that were done in May of 2001?
It must have been 2001 then. Must have been only 7 years ago. Yeah. Mr. Denny just noted that it was approximately 2001 it got approved.
Also on lot 1 for the driveway, the water coming down the driveway. It's almost the same issue as the previous applicant. If you could somehow show where the water's gonna go after,
After it gets down near the bottom?
yeah.
Okay.
Is there enough space to pick it up a little bit and send it into the drainage system, or won't the drainage system handle it?
The drainage system's designed to handle the total increase in impervious, so it could handle it. We are catching the roof runoff, but it'd probably be easier, just as easy to grade it so that it does drain off to that portion just drains off to the rear of the property. And I could do that actually with make sure the grading is on lot 2 also, so to ensure that doesn't drain right into the garage.
Are you gonna check these lot areas then?
Yes.
Okay, and it would be good if you could, if you're going to be adding lot area to lot 1, if you could see if you could move the house away?
I'll try to move the house a little farther. If I add lot area to lot 1, I certainly can move the house a little to the east.
In these catch basins, do you have any hoods or storm scepter or anything?
I don't have hood shown on there, but if that's what you suggest, I'd be glad to do that. It's a common detail that I could add to the drawing.
We'll have a vented hood on there.
On number 5?
Or any, I don't, it's probably the most practical place, but you want to make sure you have it vented so you don't suck it back out again and do the siphon action from not being vented.
Would you just like a number 5 or just, I mean, that's the only way it's going out,
Right.
right?
Catch basin number 5 prior to it leaving.
What do you have, a 4-foot sump there or 2-foot?
It's a 2-foot sump.
With 15-inch pipe? Maybe for that one, put a 4-foot with a
Okay.
hood? What do you think, Scott?
Is he going to be in water?
It should be higher here, this elevation. What's this elevation? 180, 182.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem with that. That's what the highest point
That's probably the
basically.
highest point there.
Otherwise, it's just going to resuspend that and fill up the galleys with any sand that may go down.
At least to keep it cleaner.
I'm assuming if this road is going to be turned over to the town at some point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then we should probably have a deeper sump there and a hood. You got enough room to go across the front of the yard too with, and stay away from the septic with the driveway water for lot 1.
Oh, yeah.
Pitches it a little bit.
Right, you could.
I have a question about the storage. You're storing the 100-year storm,
Yes.
and you're doing the 6-hour calculations?
I actually did it 2 different methods. I did it with, I also did it on the computer, a different methodology, which is, it goes through a big computer run that shows the actual routing of it, and it basically showed the volume is equivalent. This was the old method I used. I tried to copy what, I had a letter that, I guess Mr. Heiza wrote concerning, that Don Ballou did, and that's the method I used, that's the original method I used to design the 100-year storm. But I also did it on HydroStorm on the computer.
Is that a 24-hour storm?
It's still a 6-hour storm.
Okay, so how many inches do they store? Because the 100-year storm is 7.1, 24-hour, and what you're saying in here is the 6-hour is only 5-something.
I think that's the runoff. The actual 5.1 is the runoff of the storm.
Okay.
It's the runoff is calculating how many inches of runoff you get.
So would there be any difference then between if you calculated using the 6-hour or a 24-hour?
Yes, 24-hour, you'd end up with, I think you end up with more runoff, but the actual rainfall intensity is less. So it might in the long run be fairly close to the same.
But if you have more runoff, yeah, I see that, but I don't know what the context is on that either. I saw that. I'm just wondering if, normally it's done with the 24, which is a larger volume. If you do a 6-hour, I'm just wondering if if the water's going to not drain out fast enough to take the next storm. I just don't know how this affects your ability to store it.
Usually when in a 100-year storm, it's really small statistics. In a 100-year storm for a 6-hour storm is, like you said, it's approximately almost a 9-inch rainstorm, and it's which you almost never get a 9-inch rainstorm that intensity for 6 hours. It's I can't remember the last time we got 9 inches in 24 hours. Basically, that's what you're saying. So I think it comes out the same statistically. I could check on that program, see what the difference is. It's not real a big deal to check it.
Okay.
Once this road's approved, these galleys are the responsibility of the owner of this lot or the town?
We do that in a number of different ways. Most towns require the galleys to be responsible to the homeowner, either that or of an association. Quite often towns don't like to take responsibility of it. So it's basically up to, I would say it's up to the town. If you want, we could put a caveat in the deed and make sure that the homeowner is responsible for it.
That's typically a standard condition of approval by this commission, that the lot owner is responsible for the maintenance of whatever stormwater management system is on that lot. I think there's a little, I noticed in your drainage report on page 3 that you've got a bullet item, 100-year 6-hour storm consisting of 5 inches of rain, which is, it wouldn't, I heard what you said about the 9 inches of rain, which probably is what we should be actually basing these things on these days.
It depends on the time of concentration also.
Right, but what he's asking here is Bob Heiser, when he came up with this back in 1988, is that he wanted some consistency in how less than 10-acre sites were going to handle their pre and post-construction runoff. Volume was not addressed at that time. And I think that's what you're alluding to, is that we're not looking at the volume in the manner with which that we normally do.
And the 5.6, and it sounds like what's being said in there is that the storm is 5.6 inches, which is a 25-year 24-hour storm, and the 100-year 24-hour storm is 7.1 inches. So that was my question. You said the 5.6 was the.
I'll double check that if there's any, if there's something wrong with that. The only thing is, I think it is talking about the volume though. That's the whole point of that calculation, is to get the volume.
It just looks to me like that 5.6 is wrong and it should be 7.1.
Okay, I did discuss it with Don Ballou, and it is still talking about the volume. I'll just double check whether it has to be to 7.1. I think it also depends on the time of concentration also, but again, I don't think it's going to change it too much.
I believe you may be right. But check that.
The clean out the grade, is that going to be an actual manhole, concrete?
It doesn't have to be, because the galleys also have cleanouts. If they are concrete galleys, they have cleanouts, or even even if they're 2-foot concrete galleys, they have clean out so you can get into them anywhere.
But it's gonna be all grass on top.
Yes,
Right, so you would have to dig up to find the actual
but
port.
they'll be right underneath the surface. So
Right.
there'll only be like a couple inches or 4 or 5 inches of topsoil on them.
The only reason I ask, if you had a actual manhole there, 2 grade, with a sump, if any sand ever gets bypassed,
Yes, that we could put a manhole there to
it's just
to catch any.
it's a lot better than digging
to
up
catch
all
any
the...
sand.
Right. Any other concerns?
Did you do any test pits farther away from the wetland to see if that septic could be moved up a hill a little bit farther away?
No, because unfortunately, that's where Fred Schumacher thought the best area was to put it, and I thought that I basically agreed with him that would be the best area for the septic system. We did keep it at least, like I said, we tried to keep it at least 50 feet away to meet the health code, state health code requirements.
Well, I'm looking at the disturbance of the trees. The larger the buffer, the better. So if it can be moved farther away, we've got more of a buffer in between. So that's why I was wondering, why would you not just see if...
We could try to slide it up the hill. I could ask him if we could slide it up the hill another 10 feet or so, at least, then that way you get it. And then we could keep the clearing limits at least 75 feet away from the wetlands.
That would be great if you could
Okay.
do that.
Well,
You still want to keep 4-foot sump in the, that CB5
I would.
in addition to the manhole?
I mean, 'cause if for some reason if they don't clean that, I just think it's 15-inch pipe. I think it'd be easier just to have something there.
I'll show a 4-foot sump in the manhole, in the
Number
catch
5,
basin.
number
And a
5.
2-foot, yeah, and a 2-foot
Right.
sump in the manhole.
Right.
Okay.
I just think it's easier to clean than going through the galleys. So if the hooded one gets clogged, they should clean that.
Well, I
and
think
also-
that's a good idea.
at the same time.
Now, just to clarify, so there's trees coming up this way. Are the trees going this way?
I don't
Oh.
believe there's trees in that area there. There's Christmas trees throughout the whole site.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Christmas trees. I'm talking about the natural.
Basically,
Tree.
it's basically cleared. Most of the site is basically cleared except for the area to the left.
Most of it is grass. It's huge. Open.
Yeah, I know it is mostly grass. That's why I just wondered where, and I know there are trees over here, but I just didn't know where they were.
Even the wetlands there, I believe that's even mowed actually. So it's all grass right over the, almost through the wetland area.
You're talking about the center
In
wetland.
the center wetland. yes.
Right, but not this
No,
one over here.
This site here, I don't believe is
Yeah.
mowed, no.
Can you get an idea where it actually, where the edge of the
I'll double
wooded
check
area
that for
is?
you.
Okay.
Just to, when you make your square here, which I think it is 54,000,
Okay.
because we have after you, there's another application which the plans were changed because they didn't have the right.
Yes, I understand that.
Right, so this way, you draw it once. So this way, if you do move a lot line, when you bring the new plan back, that'll be...
No, I will change that.
Okay. Any other concerns?